Hello and welcome! This is Temple Christian Academy Carbon Colon Inc. Values Education 10 with Pastor Yoruz John P. Tadna as subject teacher. Today, we re-dive in deep into some of the most important questions you'll ever ask yourself. Who am I? Who am I becoming? And how do I take charge of my own life? We're going to explore 3 powerful ideas that work together to help you build a stronger, more purposeful future. This isn't just a lesson. It's a journey into understanding yourself, your identity, and the incredible power of responsibility. So, let's get started on this path of personal growth, where every step you take today shapes the person you will become tomorrow. Our journey begins with the foundational skill of self-awareness. Think about it. How can you build a meaningful life if you don't know the builder yourself? Self-awareness is like turning on a light in a room you've lived in your whole life but never truly seen. It's a lifelong process of honest reflection and a genuine desire to grow. Every single one of us is a unique mix of qualities. We have strengths that propel us forward, helping us achieve our goals and connect with others. We also have weaknesses, those areas that challenge us and present opportunities for growth. Recognizing both your strengths and weaknesses is not about judging yourself. It's about gaining a clear, unfiltered picture of your personality, your motivations, and your emotional responses. Why do you get excited about certain things but feel anxious about others? What triggers your frustration? What brings you a sense of peace? Understanding the why behind your reactions is a game changer. It gives you the power to manage stress more effectively, navigate conflicts with maturity, and build healthier, more fulfilling relationships. When you know your own patterns, you're no longer just reacting to life. You're responding to it with intention and wisdom. Now, let's connect this to your personal values. Your values are the principles you hold most dear, things like honesty, compassion, hard work, or creativity. They act as your internal compass, guiding your decisions and keeping you grounded. When you are self-aware, you can clearly identify what you truly believe in. This clarity is crucial, especially when you face peer pressure or confusing situations. Imagine your values are the anchor of your ship. No matter how stormy the seas get, that anchor keeps you from drifting away. By understanding yourself, you begin to set goals that truly matter to you, goals that align with your core principles. This is the first step toward becoming a disciplined, purposeful individual who lives a life of meaning, not just a life of chance. Now that we've looked inward with self-awareness, let's explore our second key idea, the formation of personal identity. Your identity is the story of who you are, and it's a story written by many authors. It is shaped by a dynamic blend of internal traits, your natural personality and temperament, and a host of external influences. Think about your family. The values, traditions, and beliefs passed down through generations have helped shape your view of the world. Think about your culture, your friends, and the community you belong to. Each of these has contributed a chapter to your story. Your experiences, both good and bad, also play a massive role. A significant achievement might build your confidence, while a difficult challenge might teach you resilience. Your personal beliefs, moral compass, and even your daily habits all combine to create the person you are right now. However, and this is the most empowering part, you are not just a passive recipient of these influences. While you can't always choose what happens to you, you have incredible power to influence your own development. You get to be the lead editor of your own story. Identity is not a fixed, unchangeable statue. It's more like a garden that you tend to every single day. It grows and evolves through learning, reflection, and deliberate effort. You are encouraged to recognize the positive influences in your life and appreciate the good values you've inherited. At the same time, it's just as important to learn how to resist unhealthy pressures that might lead you away from a responsible and meaningful path. Every choice you make, every habit you build, and every attitude you adopt is like planting a seed in your garden. Today, you are actively building the identity you will have tomorrow. The question is, what are you choosing to build? This brings us directly to our third and perhaps most critical lesson, the reality of responsibility and decision. If self-awareness is knowing yourself and identity is building yourself, then responsibility is owning your actions and directing your future. Every single choice you make has a ripple effect. It doesn't matter if it's a small, quiet decision, like whether to study or watch another video, or a major, life-altering choice about your career or relationships. Every decision comes with consequences, for better or for worse. Responsible individuals understand this. They don't just act on impulse or follow the path of least resistance. They take a moment to pause and think. They consider the potential outcomes of their actions. They ask themselves, how will this choice affect me in the long run? How will it affect the people I care about? This thoughtful approach is a hallmark of maturity. Responsibility requires two key skills: self-control and accountability. Self-control is the ability to hit the pause button, especially when your emotions are running high. It is that inner strength that allows you to evaluate a situation calmly and choose the best course of action rather than just reacting. Accountability, on the other hand, is about ownership. It means taking responsibility for your mistakes, working to correct them, and, most importantly, learning from them. It's easy to blame others or make excuses when things go wrong, but true growth happens when you own your part in it. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being honest and committed to doing better. Every time you practice responsible decision-making, you are building your character. Consistently choosing honesty, discipline, and respect doesn't just make you a better person, it builds yourself, earns you the trust of others, and strengthens the foundation of your future. You are the architect of your life, and your choices are the building blocks. So, let's bring it all together. These three lessons: self-awareness, identity, and responsibility, are not separate ideas. They are a powerful trio that provides a solid foundation for your entire life. It starts with looking inward to truly understand who you are, your strengths, your weaknesses, your values. This self-awareness allows you to navigate the world with clarity. Next, you recognize the forces that shape your identity or family, your culture, your experiences, and you actively choose which influences to embrace and which to resist. You become the conscious creator of your own character. Finally, you embrace the power of responsibility. You accept that your choices define your path, and you commit to making decisions with thought, self-control, and accountability. You own your journey, including the triumphs and the setbacks. Remember, personal growth is an inside job. It begins within you. The choices you make today, the habits you form, and the person you decide to be in this very moment are all shaping the incredible person you are becoming. The future isn't something that just happens to you. It's something you build one responsible choice at a time. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey of reflection and growth. I hope these ideas have inspired you to look at yourself and your future with fresh eyes and a renewed sense of purpose. If you found this helpful, please like, share, and subscribe for more content designed to help you build your best life. Until next time, keep growing and keep choosing wisely. Expository reflection. This lesson addresses the essential virtue of submission to authority in an organized society. The module points out that respecting authority is a fundamental ethical requirement and is vital for survival in any community, school, home, city. From a Christian perspective, this obedience is an acknowledgement that all governing power, whether in a family, school, or state, is ultimately ordained of God. Therefore, submitting to these earthly authorities is, in a way, submitting to the order God has established. It is also an act of humility and a necessary preparation, as a good member is a good leader. KJV, Verse Romans 13:1 KJV, let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of God. The powers that be are ordained of God. Application for students. Active submission. Students are to view rules not as restrictions, but as guidelines for ethical behavior and community harmony. They should actively look for ways to support and respect teachers, administrators, and parents. Future leadership. Our present willingness to be a good follower is the good training needed to become an effective, respected, and successful good leader later in life. Lesson 2. Making use of failures. Expository reflection. While the module title Making use of failures suggests a focus on resilience and growth. The underlying spiritual principle is the certainty of human mistakes and the need for perseverance. Failure is inevitable, but it's true. Significance lies in the response it elicits. A mature person does not let a setback define their identity. Instead, they use the experience as a tool for self-correction and stronger moral formation. Failure reveals areas needing improvement and builds the character necessary for long-term success. Verse プルーバーズに4時16分 KJV for a just man fallit 7 times and riseth up again. But the wicked shall fall into mischief. Application for students: shift the mindset. Challenge them to stop viewing failure, for example, a low grade, a missed shot, a broken promise, as a permanent label. Instead, reframe it as data information about what did not work to be used for their next attempt. Develop tenacity. Emphasize that the key measure of their character is not that they fell, but that they rose up again. True strength is found in tenacity and the spiritual conviction that they are not defined by a single outcome. Lesson 3. Nothing but the truth. Expository reflection. This lesson is a critical call to honesty and integrity. The module defines truth as the agreement of what is said with fact and reality. Conversely, a lie is not just a false statement, but any intention to deceive, which can be an action or even total silence. The example of a courtroom oath illustrates the profound weight of truth, as a lie can destroy an innocent person's life. Spiritually, lying is rooted in a sinful human nature and driven by fears or carelessness, but it must be replaced by a conscious commitment to truthfulness. KG. Verse. Proverbs 12:22 KJV. Lying lips are abomination to the Lord, but they that deal truly are his delight. Application for students: commit to honesty as a lifestyle. Instruct students to commit to a lifestyle of honesty, making it a non-negotiable personal policy. This means being truthful about grades, assignments, and actions, even when it is difficult. Confront fear. Address the core reasons people lie: fear, peer pressure, avoiding consequences. Encourage them to confront those fears, knowing that the temporary relief a lie provides is not worth the long-term damage to their character and reputation. The power of silence. Remind them that silence, when it is used to conceal the truth and deceive others, is also a lie. Muchas gracias, everyone. Until next time again. May the Lord bless us all. In Jesus' name.